Coming to the future, I think it's important to understand, some people talk about, the key issue is that if there has to be a settlement on the nuclear issue, it has to be between Pakistan and India. Because this program started as a relation. And some people have rightly mentioned, perhaps the European Union as a role model. How the European Union started off, initially in the 50s, after World War II, as the European coal and steel community. Because those were issues about territories, about resources, which had bedeviled the relationship. And unless Pakistan and India also focus on issues which are contentious, which are strategic, there will not be any movement forward, of which nuclear and Kashmir are two key ones. Otherwise, we can talk of trade, we can talk of culture, commerce, cricket, but it's like staging Hamlet without the Prince of Denmark. It will not work, because the key contentious issues have not been worked out, as they did with the European Union. And then they build on that trust which was established. And today it's probably the most thriving regional organization in the world, with almost a borderless Europe, among 27 countries. So I think that is a success story of sorts, but it has to be initiated from both sides. Pakistan has been willing, the problem has been on the Indian side. And now I think the fear is that after 9/11 particularly, some new realities have emerged. It seems nuclear weapons have become more fashionable, starting with the US itself. In 2003, the US Senate lifted the ban on mini nukes. The ban was imposed in 1993 because they said we need mini nukes to take on the terrorists. That was the official reason. And also China specific. And then France and Britain, two countries which now do not face any nuclear threat. There's no communism, there's no Warsaw Pact, there's no Soviet Union. They are expanding and modernizing and updating their nuclear arsenal. Where is the threat to France and Britain when the US forces are there, when NATO is there? So you can see, and I remember a famous statement of Donald Rumsfeld in October 2003, when they were preparing for war against Iran. And somebody asked Rumsfeld in a press conference shown by the CNN, why are you talking of attacking Iran, Iraq, which you say is trying to build weapons, and North Korea they mentioned? They already has nuclear weapons, they have already announced. What about North Korea? And Rumsfeld gave a very honest answer. He said we cannot touch North Korea because North Korea has nuclear weapons. As simple as that. And so it is a deterrent even for a superpower. And North Korea has a population of 25 million, or it's increased more? 24 million, because the ambassador is there, 24 million people, but they have the bomb. So, the bomb did act as a deterrent even for them and to preserve peace. So, in South Asia, as I have to say, after the induction of nuclear weapons, Pakistan's response to India's testing of the nuclear weapons in 1998, a European version, a European-style South Asian version of weapons of terror has worked. It has stabilized the relationship. It has injected national self-confidence in the Pakistan armed forces and the people of Pakistan that the threat of war, conventional war, from India has receded. Because do not forget, if Pakistan's nuclear program is India-specific, India's conventional forces are Pakistan-specific. So it's very clear, and there is a huge disparity in that. So that has allowed for more space, diplomatically and politically and otherwise, and also in the minds of the people, to open up to a better, normal rapport and relationship with India. And that is why you are seeing this movement forward on both sides. And we hope that this would include areas which have not been focused on. And I think this is extremely important. And one other thing I'd like to mention is that I just mentioned Kashmir because we sometimes tend to compartmentalize relationships. That we can talk about one area, have peace in Kabul while Kashmir continues to flare up. It doesn't work like that. One major lesson of the US military intervention, which is failed in Iraq and Afghanistan, is that military might does not prevail. It has happened in the case of Palestine, it is happening in the case of Kashmir. Even if Pakistan has all the trade with India, the Kashmir issue will not go away because the issue is linked with the people of Kashmir who are resisting the repression. So, with these remarks, I'd like to have this seminar open for comments and questions. Please raise your hand. Identify yourself by name and by designation, if any. And avoid making long speeches. Actually, comments become long speeches. So the focus should be very clear, short and sharp. And please direct your question to a particular person and name the person. I see Ambassador Samiullah Qureshi, former ambassador of Pakistan to Egypt and to Lebanon, and he's also been a friend of Yasser Arafat, and he's an outstanding diplomat also, who's written 6 books, and the 7th one is in the offing. To start off with the first question, sir, and please direct your question at any particular panelist if you may.
I wonder whether I can direct my question to any particular person.
Or generally?
I have just very few and very quick points to make.
Fine.
First of all, I wish you have summed up rather than ask the question first. And your...
I think we can mix our drinks. Summing up and asking questions is fine.
I would
Yes,
like to say that on this bench, there was no gentleman who had been actually involved in the progress of the nuclear power.
Can you hold the mic, please?
Who has not been involved with the production of the nuclear power in this country. I remember that one of the best person and the non-controversial in that case is Mr. Hashmi, who was number 2 of the KRA. And I think it would have been a great addition to all your discussions if Mr. Hashmi was here.
Is he a free man?
Yes, of course. He retired long ago.
Okay.
And I'm told that in the last discussion with the Americans and Chinese and the Pakistanis, he was included. Now, so I thought this maybe kept in view. Let me take out my...
But you should appreciate that expertise is not necessarily linked to being physically present. Otherwise, most of the history of the world would not have been written by people in the 20th century or so I think, anyway, you can move on to your next point, please.
I'm sorry to say that unless you have the real experts on the subject, it remains somewhat hollow. Now, coming to the Security Council, I would like to say I am more inclined to look at the overall political situation. Now, this question of FMCT, etc. in Pakistan, actually the targets are Pakistan, Iran. Korea cannot be because China and Russia are behind it. Now, therefore, instead of saying that Pakistan and Iran should submit to this, they take various kinds of formulas. Another point I would say that this is to be kept in view that we are having this kind of discussion. Only Pakistan's interest and Pakistan's interest and security interest should be focused, and not the technical points and not the academic points, because that can be done by so many people in the world. As for your remark about it for that with India, I would submit that for 1,000 years of history of the Muslims in the subcontinent, there is a feeling that we cannot be second to India, and it is not a question of tit for tat. It's a question of saying we are not less than equal to you, and not just a matter of taking our foot like the sparrow